Welcome back to Red Faction 2.
Sopot's headed for the Citadel.
We're gonna do stuff.
That's a great tagline to put on the box. Red Faction 2, a game where you do stuff.
You do stuff that reminds you of Red Faction, I think.
A game I'd much rather be playing.
Look, I'll just say this. It's always a bad sign when only the second game in your series is different enough that people can say it goes against the identity of the series. Well, okay. Forget if we went over this. Like, I know that, nowadays this is definitely seen as the black sheep of the series, but what was, like, immediate reaction upon people buying this game?
Well, it mustn't have been great if they haven't got a game for 7 years after this.
Let me check what the journalistic, the video game journal website thought back then. Let's see.
Also, yeah, screw concrete mixers.
I do wonder if...
Go.
Well, you can smash that. I will say that I do wonder if this is a case where if this were a game in, like, its own series, maybe it could have been better. Or is the game just not really good on its own?
The PS2
it's just really boring.
The PS2 version was the highest rated among all of them. On Metacritic it has 84 out of 10. Electronic Gaming Monthly 7.5 out of 10. Gamer 8 out of 10. Gaming Informer 8.75 out of 10. Okay. Game Pro 4.5 stars out of 5. GameSpot 8.3 out of 10. What are these scores? GameSpy 4.5 stars out of 10, GameZone 9 out of 10, IGN 9.2 out of 10. Again,
yeah, okay.
A lot of companies like to use the decimal points with the scores.
Okay, I'm sorry, I just gotta explain something. I just I'm shooting you with turret guns, and one of the soldiers earlier managed to survive a turret bullet to the head.
Don't you see, Dwibs? Those are rubber bullets.
I never thought in Red Faction I'd have to be dealing with game design flaws from one of the Terminator video games.
Okay, right. I'll admit, it is... Usually the rule is when you get a headshot, that's usually an insta-kill, or at least something that deals more damage.
But no, apparently it doesn't affect half of them.
Anyway, I'm basically done because, that was kind of it. Only other stuff was like the official US PlayStation magazine with 4 stars out of 5. The PC version was actually the lowest.
Okay, some of these people... Okay, some of these guys we're facing now are zombies that were affected by the experiments that have been going on here.
Right, I think that was hinted at in the first game. I assume they're basically zombified soldiers who are working for Sopot, Victor Sopot. Oh, I guess that's something to tether it to the first game.
Again, the connections between this game and the last one are barely there at best.
Okay, I want to be fair. Sometimes a series can work where there's, like, only the barest of connections between its installments. Sometimes that can work.
Well, again, again, there's the Final Fantasy series. There's common things like the Moogles, the Shokos, but for the most part, again, there's not really much of a substantial connection between both games, unless, of course, the game is a direct sequel.
Also, I don't know if it's just me, but the sound mixing is not great.
Yeah, what he said.
A common problem.
Hey, something might better here. We'll follow move then.
This is a common problem in the PS2 era, because even the God of War games had sound mixing issues that Bluepoint tried to hardest to fix in the HD collection, but even they couldn't quite get it perfect because there's just no saving that shit. Those games are terribly designed on the sound department.
Like, I'll just say this, if your game is designed to have the character shooting a lot, maybe make it in a way that I can hear the characters talking over the ammunition. Just a little piece of advice.
At the time that we're recording this, there's apparent, considering there's a Netflix God of War show in the works, and we've also heard words that Sony might be working on a God of War trilogy collection for the PS5. So finally, maybe those games will get subtitles. Maybe.
Yeah. The lack of subtitles here definitely sucks. Like, I can make out enough what the characters. What the heck?
What the fuck was that?
It's like that scene in the Incredible Hulk 2008, video game where the taxi just curves into the building and sinks it.
I'm coming home!
Also, I get that this is supposed to be epic, but this feels boring. Like, I get it. They're two tanks, but they move
Jova,
so
none of this is
sluggishly.
fun. This is why it's called war.
Cold War.
Okay, to be fair, I'm supposed to use rockets here.
Why don't you?
Because I forgot about secondary fire in tanks.
So basically, that Dwibs, on foot gameplay, you rely too much on the explosive when you shoot them, and on the tank you don't use them when you shoot.
Well, okay, but
Wow.
here's the thing, Tio. This one thing this game I think does fall a bit foul of is that it assumes that just because there's explosions everywhere, that automatically means it's exciting. It's like
I
It's
didn't
like
even
the
say
mid-
that. I was saying just on
like
the
the
gameplay
mid-
level.
it's like the mid 2000s Power Rangers shows.
But yeah, Tio does have a point. It's really ironic that, the one time you do need to use explosives, you don't use explosives.
Yeah, again, I forgot they were there.
Yeah, that's what I
Also-
was mentioning. Go on.
Also, I guess the tank fell into a factory room by the
Because
looks of it.
they bombed the highway, so you fell down.
Yeah. Besides, this is
It looks like
where
an alleyway.
it's where the Chancellor is located.
I mean, it is a tank. It's you can still point towards the direction, and eventually you get there, basically.
Also, I'm not gonna lie, this turret section is kind of wearing out its welcome with me.
Again, Joe, we also saw that before in the previous part. So there was a problem that was noticeable during this era, where turret sections were going on for way too long.
I guess part of the idea is that it slows down the action enough to let you appreciate how cool it is that the characters speak to you in such a manner.
Also, in an attempt to create varied set pieces, the problem is that it's a classic case of trying to strive for balance, where you want to create a level that manages to be memorable. You maybe don't want to make it too short, so it doesn't. It actually feels like you left an impression on the player. But at the same time, you might run the risk of running it too long and creating the opposite effect of making it feel like it lasts too long.
Pedro, what do you think? Isn't this exciting?
That's the thing, Joe. Like, you're talking to someone who 2 years ago finally played the original Halo on the Master Chief Collection, and honestly, gameplay-wise, I found that game didn't age very well. So and this looks like it's something on the same level for me. So it's
I
just
can
like,
definitely say that this probably does not play as well as Halo, but I do get your point, though.
it's like
It's like...
I guess I'm more of a Gears guy than a Halo guy.
Also, remember, Jova, Halo was one of the pioneers that started to introduce, gameplay elements that I genuinely did not like having only two weapons at a time.
Oh yeah, like, let me put it like this. I
Thank
loved
goodness this
Halo
game.
back when...
Thank goodness this game seems to have a proper arsenal, and not just those restrictions.
Like, I'll put it like this. What Halo did worked for Halo, for the most part, but I do get why other companies play
Even in general, Jova, it makes sense for the multiplayer to be balanced and encourage you to go around on the map, scavenging weapons and adapting with what you have, That mentality, makes sense. It's just that for the single-player campaign, sure, it adds a layer of realism, because of course your character will not be able to carry everything on their back. But I don't know, it's one of those things that I believe you can actually, leave some concessions behind for that.
My take is that, like it or loathe it, it worked for Halo, but I absolutely get the disdain of other franchises playing Follow the Leader, because hey, it worked for Halo, surely it will work for us, and for better or worse it did at some points, but obviously with now there being a backlash against that kind of system, you can see how it was a short-sighted maneuver.
Well, remember, once
run.
again, it took until Doom 2016 for returning, most prevalently onto that.
Well, thank God the turret section is over.
We can finally start moving again.
Are we finally about to take out this Sopot guy?
In the next part.
Maybe less.
In the meantime, we're raiding the base where he's located.
In style, I see.
I
How
love
did that guy
bleeding.
not hit you?
It's like he got him legs, I guess.
Hey, rude.
At the very
Shooting
least,
at me from the side.
at the very least, there don't seem to be civilians in this area so far.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, so that guy did throw his head up in pain, so I guess that was finally a reaction.
That's only when
to
they
the shot.
die.
Well, it's weird, he did that a few times before
And
he
as you
died.
noted, Dwibs, early on, the enemies did not seem to give enough of a decent feedback when they died.
Again, it's such a jarring thing, like, the enemies will splatter blood, but they won't stagger, so it's jarring.
Alias, it's starting to get hot.
Also, I take Dwibs when you don't have a mode where, not a mode, but you know, a command on the controller where you can, you know, instead, you know, properly raise your weapon to aim more accurately. You know, the classic center the weapon in the center of the screen, similar to a lot of military shooters that do that.
I don't think so. I've not really had to use it.
Also, wow, there was actually a female mook.
Well,
That's
we've seen a couple of them, you know, in the previous parts. At least I noticed them.
Well, okay, I've known female civilians. I don't
No,
recall
even
seeing a
soldiers,
female mook, though. Oh well. Okay then.
Well, I mean, the music at least still sounds as bizarre
trying,
as the other game.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what is this music? It sounds like it can't decide if it wants to be military themed or Rugrats themed.
Truly,
Just like the last game.
Truly, the best Revolution core.
What? How was that?
I
Okay,
think that's another civilian. Yeah, there are a bunch of Dwibs.
he's not even trying.
Okay, I can explain this one, actually. Their screams were annoying and kept repeating. Like, it's not even a consistent loop. And it was getting annoying, so I just shot them to stop it.
You know, you could have just shot the one bad dude and left. Or heck, you probably could have just left the room.
They're working with the evil Chancellor because the game said he was evil.
Oh yeah, it's not like they may just be trying to hide from all the violence or anything. No, they have to be working for
Besides,
a bad
being-
guy.
Like I said, they were annoying. So.
Subterranean tunnels all over the place.
Okay, here's something I have to say something on this bit.
Go on.
This part, the reason why this part's only 18 minutes was because I was stuck on this section for half an hour.
You were supposed to bomb the manhole, but you did not realize that.
No, I'm just supposed to get through a certain area. The problem was I kept getting blindsided by the giant enemy tanks, and I kept losing my health quickly. So what I had to do to at least progress past this bit without the playthrough taking 2 years to record was input a super health cheat. It doesn't grant you infinite health, but it makes your health a bit stronger.
Interesting. So what, it increases the health bar?
Yeah, again, it's not infinite. You can still die, but you get a lot more.
So what, is this one of those parts of the level where basically they throw everything in the kitchen sink at you?
Yeah, it's one of those marathon levels where you have to survive.
Like I say in one of the previous parts, it also doesn't help that the infrared, you know, the X-ray, you know, goggles, you know, is substitute for where we are. Yeah, night vision goggles really don't help that much in seeing through the dark. What was the problem in having a torch? Sorry, a flashlight.
It's a good question.
I don't remember the last game having a flashlight.
No, but you know there weren't that many zones, you know, completely in the dark. So, like I said, this was not too long before Doom 3 was released. That one, sure, it was a bit, you know, awkward in how they handled the flashlight, but it did have it, you know.
The steam is ridiculous.
What he said.
And that was the last words he said. This theme is ridiculous. Although we get a new weapon here. Basically, they're stronger rocket launchers. Obviously, don't fire them in an enclosed space. That was a mistake I made during my first run of this level.
Yeah, I can imagine you doing that.
Alias, check your fire. Wheels on our way in. To open the gates. Provide support.
Sopot has mobile artillery all over the place. Watch your step.
I think that you cannot even hijack, enemy vehicles like the mechs.
No, again, you can only take the ones the game tells you to do. That was kind of like the last game too, except even then, I think you could at least choose whether to use them.
Yeah.
Here, it's only the ones the game tells you to use.
As you demonstrated with by being forced to not being able to use the submarine due to the glitch. There we go.
Okay, you're not supposed to climb up this bit, to be fair. Again, this is basically a marathon level. You have to survive all the enemies thrown at you.
I love it, we just stand around in the open getting riddled with bullets.
Or just being blown up. Again, like that guy earlier who got blown up, leaving only his legs that fell over. So yeah, all that, and I only just went down a little bit of the tunnel to here.
Riveting.
Like I didn't like the game said you can get to your objective a lot quicker, but yeah, I travel a grand total of 10 feet.
I really do
I guess
wonder
the
how
idea is
the devil design happened for this game.
I'm guessing the idea is that you circumvent a lot of the boundaries this way.
This really does feel a bit amateurish in terms
Yeah,
of
it's
that.
only like a few feet.
Like, yeah, no, even for 2002, I have definitely seen more intuitive level designs for FPS.
Not just intuitive, Droval. I'm telling also, that tell a story, basically, In this case, you're raiding this base, so you'd think that having to take a detour to arrive in another part of the base would be a bigger thing, Like, you come up with in a part of that, has a lot of different things, to showcase the fact that, in the other area, and in the process of getting there might take a while, But instead, here we kind of breeze through it, And the other fine side that, where we just came out here as that tower where we just blew up, and electric cable that's dangling around. That's it.
Yeah, and flags. Don't forget the flags. They're much more
Hostiles
important.
down.
Again.
I'm in the control tower,
Hold
opening
on.
the gate now.
Alright then. There's our crew.
And that's the end of the part. Again, be thankful I cut it down. Otherwise, this part would have been 48 minutes of me wandering around, doing nothing.
Alright then, so see you for more evolution.
Join
I
us in the
guess.
next part where we take down the evil Chancellor.
See ya.
So yeah.
Alright then.
Bye.